Hey, we're excited to be here today with Sonya, and Sonya is a consultant in the payroll arena, and we consider her one of the experts in PEOs. And for those of you that don't know, PEO stands for Professional Employer Organization, and it is a way that a lot of companies choose to be co-employers with a payroll company and actually have their employees actually on the payroll of the payroll company. So we're going to ask Sonya some questions today about PEOs, because there are some companies that really should be part of a PEO, and then there's some companies that are part of a PEO that may want to look at another alternative. So Sonya, tell me a little bit about the company that should use a PEO.
A company that should use a PEO is a smaller company that doesn't have a lot of resources. It's the business owner who has created a business for himself with many employees, that's looking for benefits, that's looking for HR help, that's looking to streamline everything into a one-stop shop. Maybe what they're looking for is health insurance, and they can't get competitive rates on the open market. That's why you would go into a PEO. Maybe you're looking for workers' comp, you've gotten thrown into the pool, you can't get competitive rates, you go to a PEO.
So that would be like a workers' comp, wouldn't it be maybe say a roofer?
Correct, a roofer, or there are PEOs out there that are designed strictly for a workers' comp play.
Right.
When you go into a PEO, you always want to make sure that you have an exit strategy, because to go into a PEO is notoriously going to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Because they're doing multiple tasks that you yourself could do or someone on your staff could do. But the biggest thing is it's a play. It's a health insurance play, it's a workers' comp play. It's something that you cannot get on the open market that's driving you into that position.
Got it. So when a PEO salesperson comes to a company and says, I can get you benefits, or I can get you cheaper workers' comp rates, that probably looks attractive to that business owner, because they're thinking, I don't have time to do the research, I can't do all that. Is that kind of why they go there generally?
Absolutely. So what a sales rep for a PEO company is going to do is they're going to, if they're good, they're going to probe and figure out what is your hot button.
Okay.
And then they're going to drive that cost for that hot button down.
Sure. And
they will take the cost for the other processes, the other administrative duties that they're doing, and those will be a little bit higher. But the problem is that, well, the problem for you is that you're looking strictly at that one hot button and you're not paying attention to the rest of them.
So they overinflate some of those other costs just to keep that one cost low.
They have been known to do that, yes.
So is there a play for those people that may be the smaller owner that, although it looked like an advantage because they were told maybe that they couldn't get benefits another way, or they couldn't get inexpensive workers' comp insurance, is there a way that those kind of companies that find themselves in that small side, or the side where their workers' comp rates are too high, is there a way that they could also get those cheaper rates if they did not join a PEO?
Absolutely, but what you have to do is you've got to know the right players to go to. You have to have someone who knows, where are you going to get your payroll? How are you going to do that competitively? How is it going to streamline? Do you need time and attendance? How are you going to handle all of that? In addition, how are you going to handle those HR issues? You need to have an HR partner.
Right.
And if you have those, you have even better experts by outsourcing, because you build that relationship with the HR department. You build that relationship with your benefits broker. You work towards having a better workers' comp mod. So all of those things together, or a state unemployment rate, right? But if you're working with your human resources department, you are going to drive down workers' comp claims, because you're going to be on top of making sure that, OSHA rules and guidelines are being met.
Sure.
You're going to be working on the company culture. You're going to be working on safety. From a state unemployment situation, you're going to be, as an HR person, you're going to be driving down the turnover. You're going to be driving down the disgruntled employees. So your unemployment rate will go down also. But the key is having the right experts on your team as a business owner.
Awesome. So any company is able to kind of get out of one of these PEOs if they don't want to use it, and find experts in HR, experts in payroll, experts in benefits that would be able to really put together a plan for them. They would just have to use their time or an HR person's time to actually get all of those vendors together to make a good plan.
Correct. So what you got to do is you've really got, if you're in a PEO and you're trying to get out of it and unbundle that, what you want is you really need an expert understanding all of the different spokes that it's touching. So you've got a PEO and they're doing payroll, they're doing HR, they're doing workers' comp, they're doing benefits. They might be doing your 401k, right? They might be offering all of that. And they're managing all of those things. So is your benefits partner going to help you drive down your benefits rate and still offer competitive benefits? And so you have to make sure that you have all of those and you understand that all of them have to start working at the same time. So having a quarterback of sorts to help you through that is highly important.
Awesome. So so let's say there are some companies that they don't really want to put all that together. They want to have somebody do that. So that would be a reason why a company would have a PEO. That would be the advantage of having it, is that you don't have to quarterback it. You just have somebody else do it, right?
Correct.
You get some rates because you're bundling your employees together and those kind of things. And so for some employers, this might be a good option. But what's the disadvantage of having a PEO for those employers, or even employers that just kind of got sucked into, we can do it all for you, you don't have to have an HR team, these really aren't your employees, and you don't have to worry about them. So what are the disadvantages of that?
So the disadvantages are a couplefold. You have a financial disadvantage. So some PEOs are going to base their price on percentage of payroll. If you have highly compensated employees, this is a great play for the PEO. It's not a great play for you. So
because obviously your rates are going to be so much higher.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you're good when you went into the PEO, some of them will negotiate a per employee per month flat fee, but those can range anywhere from 80, 90 on the low end per employee to I've seen up to 200.
So the major disadvantage is it's just expensive.
It is expensive. The other thing is you have to remember that there is a loophole in every single PEO. And that is at the end of the day, it is still your responsibility as the employer to take any problems that you have to court.
Got it.
So the PEO is not going to go to court for you. They might give you some documentation to help your labor attorney that you are now employing for you to defend yourself. That's going to happen. But they're not going to go to court for you. So now you've paid all of this money over here for the PEO to be compliant and to give you sound advice. But at the end of the day, it's still your responsibility.
So there's nothing we can really do. As an HR professional, we know that there's nothing we can really do to get rid of our liability with our employees. We have to, the care and feeding of our employees, the buck stops with us.
Correct.
And even though we give some of that responsibility or some of that proposed responsibility to a PEO, it kind of stays with us no matter whether we have a PEO or not.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if they're asking you to do something and you as a business owner know that that's not the right thing and you don't do what they're asking, then that's another exposure and risk that you're taking, because then it's one more thing on your plate that you didn't do that they proposed. Does that make sense? That's called that co-employment situation.
It does, and I know we're going to do one video specifically on unbundling or getting away from a PEO if you choose to do that. But just to finish this video, what is one of the things, or maybe a couple of things that you've seen, how much money a company can save when they do each of these pieces on their own? They may get an HR expert on their own, they may get another payroll company on their own, benefits on their own, those kind of things. And when they do that, when they unbundle, what kind of savings could they possibly see? What have you seen? Because I know you're an expert in this.
You know what? You can see thousands of dollars a month by unbundling, right? You can unbundle and you can save money not only on the HR and the payroll. So if you have HR and payroll, you can still do that for way less than $60 a month per employee. And then you can also, if you have a good benefits broker, you can save thousands and thousands of dollars on the benefits.
Yeah.
If you have a good strategy. So
Exactly.
it's finding the right experts to help you. And if you do, then the amount of money is unending, right?
I know
It
we
really
were
is.
part of kind of an unbundling process with you with one of our employers, and I think there's just so much money to be had out there. And then it's kind of like we do at Innovative Outsourcing at our parent company, is that we believe that it's better, instead of hiring somebody full-time, it's kind of good to hire somebody that's an expert part-time at different things. Since otherwise you have somebody that's really good at one thing and not good at the other things. Well, I think that's what we see here,
Right.
is that it would be great to get with people, and we have all kinds of vendors, kind of like you on the payroll side, that can actually help find a great payroll company that's not a PEO. We handle the HR, and we've got other friends that do benefits and those kind of things. So it is possible to save a lot of money doing this and still get excellent coverage and excellent these pieces done.
Absolutely.
Great.
You can do a great job by unbundling it and finding the right resources and having those experts on your team. So I highly recommend it.
Awesome. Well, come and watch our other videos where we're going to talk about unbundling a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the things you can do with benefits and payroll. And thank you. If you have any other questions, please contact us.